Just acknowledging again that Amy Allen and April don't seem to be here.
Amy, where are you?
Oh, I'm sorry,
Amy.
you are Amy Allen. My apologies. Why don't we have you first and then we'll go to Amy. And if you can please speak into the microphone as much as possible.
Good morning, Chair, members of the DC Council, constituents, colleagues, and citizens. My name is Amy Allen, a 25-year Washingtonian, working 25 years for various laboratories in the DMV, degreed in criminal justice, a taxpayer, mother of 3, and also a grandmother of 2. Currently a member of and advocating with Mothers Outreach, AJE, the Washington Legal Clinic for the Homeless, Fair Budget Coalition, and Spaces for Action. Formerly, I held the parent board member position at my daughter's school. I'm here to strongly support Councilmember Parker's Bill B 26-0409, Empowering Parents in CFSA Investigations Amendment Act of 2025. My teen daughter began showing serious mental health symptoms at a very young age. Dangerous behavior, personality changes, sleepwalking, and later severe anxiety and refusal to leave the home. For years, we were bounced around wait lists, lost referrals, and a shortage of child mental health providers. She was eventually diagnosed with agoraphobia and social anxiety. Then during a crisis last year, panic disorder was then added as the third diagnosis. Once assigned to a provider, meds were prescribed. This made the transition from virtual learning into a therapeutic boarding school a reality. When my daughter was medically sidelined and her mental health flared, her school exercised their ability to work with us virtually. Unfortunately, a temporary psychiatrist refused to approve virtual schooling or to even excuse absences. Although my daughter was in crises, the school ultimately involuntarily removed her because of it. In turn, I was removed as a parent board member, and there were no comparable placements suggested or available to her. That triggered CFSA. I had 2 CFSA investigations. The first case was dismissed because I had a lawyer and was going through the process of seeking school placement. As soon as the case closed, a second case opened. The new case was claiming educational neglect and also myself being accused of Munchausen's by proxy. I sat through hours of intrusive questioning, was asked if they could follow me home to search my refrigerator, and was treated like a suspect instead of a mother fighting for her child's life. Both cases were closed with no findings. The damage, fear, and stress were real and ongoing. I did everything right. I sought help early. I followed medical advice. I followed up. What nearly broke us were the gaps between agencies, the lack of mental health capacity, anonymous reporting with no accountability, and CFSA practices that punish parents who are trying to get help. Councilmember Parker's bill is critical because it shifts power back towards families, requires CFSA to operate with more transparency and accountability, and helps ensure that parents seeking services aren't treated as criminals. Every family situation is unique. Programs should offer wraparound services for children and parents, not push them into a pipeline of fear and punishment. I urge you to pass B 26-0409 so parents like myself are empowered and respected as parents, not targeted. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your testimony through the stages of the investigation process that you experienced as a parent.
Okay, so the first instance was right after my daughter's IEP meeting, February 2025, where everyone, the school, the psychiatrist, the temporary psychiatrist, both parents, the legal representation, we were trying to agree that virtual learning would be the thing temporarily until we can figure out the situation with my daughter. That doctor said no. And that meant that no virtual learning, no, nothing. So that
Because
is
you
what
were
triggered.
attempting to get a diagnosis for agoraphobia.
Well, we were trying to get her to go to school in person, and she was flat out refusing. So
What's
that's,
the age?
I'm sorry,
What's her age?
she's 15.
15. Got it.
So 2020 had really did a thing with my daughter. She was already exhibiting mental health um, concerns when she was about 6 or 7, and her providers then knew what was going on. They told me, yeah, mental health, she needs to. So fast forward, no, couldn't link with mental health providers, and then pandemic came and everything just spun out of control. And then, so to fast forward, virtual learning was not agreed upon, and the school had to voluntarily remove her because the doctor would not approve it. So that meant any excuse, any absence she had, they were all unexcused. So when she reached the 20th day from that point, and mind you, she was doing virtual leading up to seeing the doctor. It's a whole nother story. It's very layered, my situation, unfortunately. But this provider said no. So that's what triggered the school to start the first CFSA case. That first case manager reached out to me, and he was very respectful. Actually, we communicated, and he said, yeah, you have a lawyer, you're seeking, help for your daughter. This is not physical or verbal abuse. This is not you. This is your daughter being mentally ill, and you're trying to get help. So I'm going to close the case. So I asked him, can you please put that in an email and send it to everyone that's on the thread? And he did. As soon as that IEP meeting in February 2025 was over, another case was presented to CFSA. That's where the educational neglect and the I can never say the word right, Munchausen by proxy, Munchausen by proxy, that's where they was trying to say that I was mentally ill and that I was diagnosing my daughter, or I was adding more on to than what it was. But these diagnoses came from her provider before the temporary doctor took over. So that really threw me off.
And how were you notified of that? And so caseworker sends email, this is closed. Then I'm assuming weeks later.
It was literally a few weeks later.
Weeks later,
someone kept coming to my house.
Got it.
And I'm not home. I work all the time, so I'm not home. I'm catching it on my Zoom. I mean, on my security cameras and stuff. And my daughter, sometimes she was home and she's like, someone's at our door and I don't know what's going on. And and I said, just don't go to the door. Let me figure it out. So I reached out to that initial case manager and I said, question. I'm just out of curiosity,
But were they leaving any information?
No.
Did they share, I'm with CFSA?
No.
Okay.
In my security camera, this person, for one, didn't identify who they were, but they were going to my neighbors, and I can hear the person say, do you know Miss Allen? Is she here? And they was like, no. And that's what really triggered me to reach out to say, okay, what is going on? Because I saw an ID around the lady's neck and everything. So I reached out to the first case manager and he said, no, your case is closed. Come to find out that person was also from his department. So that's what triggered their superior to comment and say, yes, you have another case. Can you come and talk to me? Or can we come to your house? And I said, no, you cannot come to my house because I don't have any information. And to my understanding, the first case was closed. So with a good friend and also someone that, he's a therapist also, he accompanied me to visit CFSA. When the conversation was great, when he had to leave an hour into, the conversation changed. It was just me and this person, and it was, can I follow you home? Yeah, I need to see if you have food in your refrigerator. I need to see how your daughter is kept. Is her clothes clean? And then slid me a piece of paper with all these services. And I'm looking, I said, what is this? And she said, well, just in case you need any services. It was almost like she was playing good cop, bad cop, like trying to help me, but at the same time trying to see if I had any deficits in my household
Hmm.
or if I needed
So
certain.
did they ever come out to investigate?
Well, my daughter is agoraphobic, diagnosed by her previous doctor, who, it's another situation. They ended up dropping her, and I had to get on another wait list. And now she's back on, and we just had an appointment yesterday. So, the the thing is, the provide. I'm not going. The language that was used in what they read to me in the office is the same language that was used to me with this person. And I can't quite say because I don't know for a fact, but I'm not stupid. I know what someone tells me, and when you read it back to me, I immediately told
Understood.
the case manager, I immediately told him, don't, I know who it is.
So to your knowledge, is the investigation ongoing?
It's closed. So
The second one is now.
the second is closed. So
So you were notified that it was closed.
well, they left a voicemail. No paperwork was ever given to me. So in that meeting, that 3 hour meeting that I sat in with, she was asking, can I give any phone numbers and names of people that can validate me? So I gave actually the director of the school that she's at now, and which she was there prior to going to the therapeutic school. So I kept a relationship with the prior school all this time because they were concerned about, they knew what was going on for my daughter. So reluctantly, she's back at that school for high school, but I gave them names of her therapists, of other providers.
That they did
They
call
followed
to say this, because
everybody.
part of the testimony I've heard today is that parents never hear back when the investigation is closed. And now you're giving two examples when, in fact, you are being notified that the investigation is closed.
It was a voicemail. It was a voicemail.
But you're still
Yes,
notified.
yes.
Yes.
It was a
Okay.
voicemail.
But that's good. That's good news. And because I would imagine that's stressful to have that just lingering out there.